Hello and welcome to, I guess I'm going to call this Let's Ramble About Silent Hill, Return to Silent Hill. Um, first off, I'm going to preamble a bit here, and then we're going to read my review of it that I posted on Letterboxd. And then I'm going to talk some more about it. Some stuff I didn't go into in the review. And, yeah, so first off, I went to see this a day after it was in the theaters. I had completely forgotten about it. I was like, oh man, that shit's gonna be in theaters? Oh man, that's gonna suck so bad. I gotta go see that. And so, I did. I did go to see it. But I had forgotten, because gotta remember January, and I totally forgot about it. But someone on Twitter reminded me of it, so I was seeing it on Twitter, I was like, oh shit. I gotta go see this. So, 24th, went out. It was snowing. This was a problem. If I waited any longer, I would have, like this. It would have been too. There would have been too much snow to walk in. I didn't want to drive. I'm right. The theater's right next to me. I don't want to drive there. Because I could have done that, but then also still would have been the roads wouldn't have been good either. So there was just no good time to go there except that day. And I was like, okay, weather report saying it's going to start snowing at 9, so I'm going to go to the 6 p.m. showing, get out of there before it starts snowing. Did not manage to do that. It was already snowing a little bit when I got there, when I was going. And then when I left, it was snowing a bunch, and but it didn't snow that much by that time, so I didn't. Everything wasn't too particularly bad. The weather forecast was acting like, oh man, well, it's gonna be so horrible, super dangerous. No, it wasn't at all. You could get 5 to 6 inches. I think we maybe did get like 5 inches. It wasn't that much snow. That was like after 2 days of snowing too. It didn't like, but whatever. That's not important. I mean, I guess it is because this is setting the stage. I went out in the shitty conditions. It sucked. It's really really cold out. And then I got to the theater, and the movie sucked. I did get something fun. I believe I still have it here. At the ticket, at the ticket / concessions stand thing, to start to get the cashier. They gave me a postcard, a Return to Silent Hill postcard, that's fun. It says, "Wish you were here." So it's just the image showed, James. You can see it on the screen. I'm going to put the poster up there. It's the same image as him standing next to the Welcome to Silent Hill sign, with what looks like a coffee stain on it. I think it's supposed to be like, but no, because there's a blood stain over on the other side. Yeah, this just looks like a coffee stain. The other shit just looks like a coffee stain. It's not, because this is like a laminated thing. It's a fake stain, but it does not look creepy. It just looks like somebody spilled their coffee on it. So that's fun. Apparently this thing was like super a limited release, right? Like, I was lucky that the theater chain I got in my town, it was playing it. Really lucky for that, apparently. I mean, I say that, but it was a terrible movie. I mean, no, I am lucky to have seen. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's totally worth watching. It's horrible. It's if you're. I mean, I don't know. Some people, they don't want to do this, but for me, it was fun and cathartic to just watch such an amazing train wreck, like fire, like trash fire. I wouldn't say it's so bad it's good. Like the Silent Hill 3 movie kind of is. Like, Revelation is kind of so bad it's good. I mean, this is just so bad it's amazing. It's like baffling, it's shocking. It's an experience, It's not every so often. It's not that often you get to watch such a colossal, like, shit show, such a big stinker in the theater, right? in on the big screen, and I'm glad I did that. But yeah, this movie sucks ass, and I'm gonna start getting into it now. Um, I was surprised how many people there were at the theater. There were like two groups of like two people. I was like, that's more than I thought there was gonna be. I wonder what they thought of it. Hope they didn't mind that time I burst out laughing. So anyway, so here we have my letterbox review. On my letterbox account, I'm not signed in yet right now, but so here we go. Or you get into it, man. The movie begins with James Sunderland, who is a painter with shaggy hair and a leather jacket. His jacket's not even green; like it's just a black leather jacket. Racing on through the downhill like he's an initial D character, and almost hitting a truck as he attempts to smoke a blunt while driving. Yeah, it's this insane scene where he just picks up this fucking doobie and is like pushes up in his mouth. He's like, "Oh man, I cannot break this lighter. It's not working. I gotta smoke this joint while I'm driving." And then he's just like, "Oh shit, a truck!" And then he knocks into the luggage of Mary Crane. Yes, she's not Mary Shepard anymore. She's Mary Crane, who is a resident of Silent Hill rather than them just like visiting, you know. So, you know, the two hit it off in a way that would be laughed out of most romantic comedies. Just terrible meet cute, really bad. Um, Not charming at all. No, it's bad. Then there are spooky foreshadowing storm clouds that come in. I meant to say roll in. They roll on in, just bunch of it's just shot out of the sky, and then the spooky clouds roll in, and it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. Just a bunch of like, oh man, those the summer storm clouds. James, it's totally normal here in Silent Hill. Woo! You're already seeing the issues. I hope. I sure hope so. Even if you've never played the game, I hope you're understanding the problems here. Which just the fact that there's so much time spent before he even decides to go to Silent Hill, right? There's all this shit. There's more of their backstory. There's a bunch of like, James is drunk and he's getting into bar fights and getting kicked out and talking to his therapist and like just wasting away at home and then what's this letter? It's so stupid. Oh my god. Honestly, yeah, like it's just a stupid movie in general. Honestly, it's not only have they replaced so much of this with stupid shit that's stupid compared to like what the game is. It's just full of stupid shit in general, right? Mary Crane is the daughter of cult leader Joshua Crane, and it's not mentioned to be dead for the first 2/3 of the movie. Yeah, they don't even say it. Like I think the therapist maybe is like, oh, you have to move on from Mary, but it's trying to keep it vague so you don't even know that she's dead or not. It's like Mary's gone. They say, I think at one point she's gone. Right? Yeah, and so rather than getting sick, her dad poisoned her with some kind of religious drug that makes her bleed so they could have like a weird blood orgy with his cultists. This eventually causes the two to split before she gets sick, right? There's this big scene of like James goes in and like finds the secret entrance to their underground sewer layer. I didn't mention this part. I should have mentioned it. It's so stupid. There's the fucking underground sewer layer they have, like their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they're doing crazy occult rituals, right? And yeah, no, he finds her and he's all like, "Oh my god, man, what are you doing to Mary?" And like, it's implied that that's the biggest source of trauma for him. None of the other shit, right? Like that's one of the memories he blocked out, right? It's doing that weird Silent Hill like 2 remake thing where James keeps remembering more things that he's blocked out about their relationship. And man, there's something I don't want to say because I have a theory about that. and it relates to another game that I don't really want to spoil in this. Not like anyone's gonna listen to this, but never mind. It's I'll never mind. You know, maybe I'll say at the end, like I'll be like, oh, there's a spoiler for this game, spoiler for a game coming up, and I don't know, but yeah, it does the Silent Hill 2 remake thing where he's like remembering other things about that he did, but that seems like the thing he's most traumatized about. So like he confronts her at home, and they're like, and he's all like, "I told you," because she's like, "Ah, when you find out about my dark side, the dark secrets about me, you won't love me anymore." And it's like, "I told you, I warned you, James. This is what I was talking about." And like, he gets kind of angry at her. He's all like, "How could you? What are you hiding from me? This is crazy." He's more angry at them than he is her. And then she slaps his drink out of his hand. Right? Like, there's no like. This is one of many instances which they're trying to, despite starting with him like being a big piece of shit scumbag, asshole painter who speeds down highways and smokes blunts at the same time, and like this, they've actually really sanitized him in a weird way. Like he doesn't even like get particularly. They didn't even have to. They didn't even decide. And you're like, well, why do they need to do that? Well, given how the story goes, it'd be nice if they at least had him like get angry and slap her or something. Something, right? Like, and be all like, "Oh, what have I done?" Like something to actually be guilty about, because just wait. Just wait. Okay. So let's continue the review. Well, yeah. So they split up, and that's another thing he's kind of guilty about. Is like, he left her when he really needed her, because I guess he couldn't handle her being in a cult. I feel like at that point, like that's not like, I have to go our separate ways thing. But it's like, okay, Mary, we're gonna get the police involved. This is clearly illegal. I'm gonna help you, right? Like I guess that's something to feel guilty about then. But okay. So yeah, it's never mentioned that they were married. James only calls her his girlfriend. Yeah, they're basically just like two 30-somethings who are dating, and like he lived at her apartment in Silent Hill for a while. And that's it, bro. That's all you get. They're not married. They're not married. He's not looking for his dead wife. In fact, they barely ever mention that at all, right? Like her letter just and yeah, her letter just says something bad's happening, and he needs to come back to Silent Hill. She just says to come to our place, talking about their apartment, and not our special place. They don't have a special place. I don't think they've even fucking been to the Lakeview Hotel in this movie. I didn't think about that. Holy shit, why did he go to the Lakeview Hotel? They've never been there. They didn't stay there because she lives there. They weren't there on vacation. It's oh my god. There's no mention of James looking for his dead wife, and it seems this one has blocked out the fact even knowing she's dead. Yeah, it seems like he has repressed that fact and just thinks she's alive and needs help because she's in Silent Hill. It's so fucking stupid. Eddie is just some greasy nutjob who beats up James for calling him an asshole. Should also tell you about oh yeah, Andy is never seen again. Well, after his first appearance, does not show up ever again. I should have talked about Angela. He meets her and she's just like gathering sandbags to stop because the water level is increasing at this cemetery. And there's none of what she says none of what she says in the original game at all. She's just some weird disheveled woman, and she looks like a weird crazy woman. She doesn't look like a kind of strange looking girl in like a turtleneck. She's just some weird girlish disheveled hair and baggy clothes. It's so bad. Her scene in the apartment, he just kind of wakes up there and is dumped there, and it just happens and is rushed through, and she just kind of randomly goes, I've got this knife. Don't stay away from me. Ah, and then runs away. There's no like it's abrupt in a different way from the game. So I just that's another thing. Like I have a newfound appreciation for the remake because like yeah, the remake screws up a lot of the classic scenes in a lot of ways. They're still good scenes, but they pale in comparison to the original, including especially the line reads, right? But man, it could be worse. The character could not look anything like the character, and they could not even say the same lines, and it could not even play out the same at all. And it could just happen out of nowhere. This is a thing I was talking about at the end. I talk about the end here where I'm like not even sure if it's coherent. This movie, if you'd never played the game, you would not know why anything is happening. I knew why it was happening, because like, well, that's what happens in the game. At this point, this is supposed to happen, because that's what happens in the game. But if you didn't know that, you'd be like, okay, why are we here? What happened? Why is that happening now? What? Okay, why are we going to the hospital? What? So let's see here. Yeah. Eddie's just some weirdo, and he never is seen again. You just see him one fucking appearance, and he's gone. Laura is some disheveled child who has a fucking monster baby for some reason. This is revealed in the hospital section. It's fucking stupid. I don't know what the point of it is. There's literally no point to it. It's not like a thematic thing. It means nothing. It's just there so that it's a spooky. She has a monster baby. Ooh. There's no fucking symbolism in this movie. Yeah. Oh, shit. She can see all the monsters. There's no fucking symbolism in this movie. There is none. There's none. Some of it's lifted from the game, but mostly it's not. There's no strange thing where... There's no Stranger Things. I heard about that season finale, by the way. The last season is apparently really bad. There's no strange thing where only those who feel guilt or have committed some big crime, whichever you interpret it as, because I see it as guilt. It's a guilt thing. People are like, why is Angela there? She didn't do anything wrong. Because she feels guilty about it. Eddie also does. He acts like he doesn't, but he does. It's about whether or not the person feels any guilt about what they've done, is the thing. Angela feels bad because she killed her dad, even though he was an abusive piece of shit. Sexually abusive piece of shit even. Eddie feels bad about shooting that guy and that dog, even though, they were assholes to him. He just like tells himself, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I should have done that because I'm tired of everybody treating me like that. I'm tired of it, so I deserve to be able to do this. But but he knows deep down it's wrong. And James, of course, is obviously very guilty about what he did. You can kind of tell. It's pretty obvious. Except in the Maria ending where he does the same thing Eddie does and like, no, man, I'm going to justify it to myself. But underneath that, he knows. Secretly, he knows deep down it's not cool, dude. It was bad. It was a bad thing he did, man. But yeah. Yeah, there's none of that. There's just monsters. There's like snow. There's ash from forest fires instead of coal fires now, and like also there's some disease going around, but also maybe none of this is real. And in real life, James is just stumbling around Silent Hill like weirdo. Because again, this movie, I'll get to that. I guess I'll get to that. Pyramid Head shows up 3 whole times. Yep, that's 3 of them. 2 of the times they show inside his helmet, and he looks like James inside. You can see they zoom in on it twice, not just once, but twice. So you can really see. Do you get it? Do you get it? Pyramid Head is James. He's his dark side. You get it? In case you didn't get it. In case you really didn't get it, they show James drunk and painting a red pyramid over his head on a painting of himself. Do you get it? Do you get it? He is Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is his own creation. Do you get it? Also, during the first 2 times, he makes human grunting and growling noises. He goes like and like he fucking growls like a fucking dog. It's ridiculous. It's so fucking stupid. Actually, several monsters make those kinds of noises. Yeah, a bunch of monsters sound way too human. In the games, yeah, I guess both games, yeah, they sound like distorted human, maybe like it's a human-esque sound, but like this just, I mean, these are just making human noises. It's ridiculous. It's awful. It's stupid. During his second appearance, he kills a spider monster with a fat ass. Apparently, the spider monster was mocapped by a real contortionist, which explains both how good the contortion animations are and how fat her ass is. It was just like it was some like contortionist lady with like in a skin tight suit, and so it's like, oh yeah, she just has a nice ass, I guess. Um, Makes far too human like sounds. Yeah, it really does. There were no mannequins that I saw. I did leave the piss for like 5 minutes. Apparently during that time, he goes and sees a TV, and it's it's like the scene at the hotel in the original game. That scene's gone. He has no, like, he does not look at the videotape and, oh, I realize what I have done. No, there's none of that. I guess Christoph Gans thought that was stupid or didn't make sense. Like, who recorded this tape? I do not understand. But he also goes with because he says this in interviews. I'm right. He says this in interviews. He goes with the, oh, it's all in James's head thing. So I don't know why he did shit like this. But yeah, it's apparently like him kind of remembering them, like going to the apartment and also maybe like seeing the cult shit on the tape. I don't know. There are no mannequins in this movie. That's the spider thing is the mannequin. Yeah, there are no mannequin monsters. I think that was supposed to be it because that was also the closet scene. Yeah, he doesn't have not have a gun. There's no gun in this movie. No guns, nothing. Barely any fighting any of monsters at all, even. Which, I mean, there wasn't much in the original movie either, but, like, yeah, it's just really stark. In general, I would say there's no effort to capture. Oh man, are you hearing my stomach rumbling? Jeez. Can you hear it? Probably can't hear it. You couldn't before. But it's rumbling. I'm gonna go make some food after this. Um, so like, there's no effort to capture the feel of the game, right? It's so frantic and fast paced. There's no like slow somberness to it. There's no like slowly exploring dilapidated buildings and finding key items. The first movie did try to do that, right? Like it recreated the intro scene. You know, when you first have the the otherworld transition and see the dude wrapped in barbed wire. And it does that in the first movie, and then there's those scenes of like, ah, I'm looking for clues in the school, and I'm finding a key in this creepy dead thing's mouth, and no, so here's a clue, like, whoa, looking around. Yeah, but they don't keep that in this movie at all. There's no attempt to replicate its look and feel at all in any way, shape, or form, right? Like, so that's another way it's a bad adaptation. You're not adapting the game. You're kind of a little bit, like 10% adapting the story, but you're not adapting how the game is, right? Um. Oh yeah. Okay, James does not tell Maria that she looked like his wife or anything like that. None of that. They meet in the Rosewater Park, but it's like there's this big fucking hedge maze that they meet in, and it's so bad. Everything, it's a big green screen. It looks really bad. Everybody's like super, like obviously screened in a lot of shots. It's such a low budget looking movie. They must have not put no money into this. It looks way worse than the first movie, which had a lot of CG and CG backgrounds too, but looked so much better than this. Like, yeah, Maria just kind of like, he's looking around in the hedge maze, and she just kind of comes up out of nowhere and is all like, "Yo, hey, what are you doing here?" You know, It's so much worse than the game, man. And so instead of him telling her like, "You look like my dead wife. You look like Mary," she's like, she figures it out because of the way he looks at her, which I don't know what fucking way she's talking about. Because ain't no character in this movie have A, good acting, or B, any chemistry. She isn't killed by Pyramid Head in the hospital elevator. Instead, she's stabbed by a nurse while James fights them off waiting for the elevator. I guess he just fucked it up. Don't know how he managed to do that. How she went like, the nurse went like right past him. She doesn't even die from this. He patches her up and she's fine. It's like perfectly fucking fine. When yeah, she doesn't even die. She dies. She later dies when James realizes she's a fake version of Mary, meant to tempt him. Which he states outright. He just says, you're in my head. I created you. You're from my mind." And then Pyramid just comes behind her and stabs her with the great knife. You know, yeah, that's right. Despite making it obvious what he is, there is no confrontation James has with him at all. Also, got to mention, um, I don't really. Oh yeah, I guess I mentioned it at the end there. But like at this point, like he goes and finds the flesh lips in the hospital, just because it's just like he just kind of goes there and it just kind of happens. I feel like he finds some clue where it's like, oh, she's waiting for me. I gotta go find her. Right, but it's all super contrived and like confusing. You wouldn't know what was happening or why anything was happening. They go to the hospital because it's like I think like Maria mentions like, oh yeah, if she was sick, she'd be going to the hospital because that's where the sick people, because all the sick people went to the hospital, so that maybe she's there. Like there's no thing of like, oh, we got to go to the hotel. Oh, but the road's out. Okay, so let's go back over. What is this? What's this bowling alley? Let's go on inside. Oh shit, Lauren's run off. We gotta go find her. She went to the hospital. No, like she's just like, yeah, maybe Mary's in the hospital. I don't know. I got a thing. I don't wanna show you yet. You didn't hope you didn't read that. But yeah, it's and so he goes into the flesh lips room and it's like it's not the flesh lips. It's actually Mary, and she's looking kind of like the final boss. And then she just like shoves her fucking hand down his throat. Then he wakes up in the real world. He's like, where am I? And he's like, oh, you're in Silent Hill, the Brookhaven Hospital. And then his therapist comes in because he apparently called her during the scene I missed. And she's all like, oh, it's just all in your head, James. You gotta let go. Mary's dead. You gotta let go. Let go of it, James. Let go. And there's also a scene where she is, and this is why this is really stupid. There's a scene where she's she's expositioning at this nurse, like, ah, Mary's been dead for like 9 months or whatever. And James just won't let it go. I thought I was making progress, but I guess I'm not. And then there's this scene where he's like looking out the window and sees someone that looks like Mary. And then his other world transitions and he's back in Silent Hill. So it's implying that it's all in his head and he's just stumbling around in real Silent Hill. And people are seeing him going like, what's the fucking guy doing? What's this fucking guy doing? What is he doing? And it's just all in his head. But then why did his therapist... Why was there a scene of his therapist like telling... How could we see that? I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess, wait, I guess... Hold on, no, because I say something, right, like... I guess it's supposed to be... what's actually happening then, right? Like I was thinking it like he didn't even go anywhere, and that's in his head. But I guess the idea is that that scene was actually happening, and that's why she can do that, right? Like that scene was actually happening, and the other stuff isn't. Okay, never mind. So I get it. It isn't like he's at his apartment just imagining all this. It's just happening in his head. No, he's going with the full on like they're just crazy people going around killing people theory, right? Like the super stupid one. Oh man. Okay, I get it. That's see, this movie sucks balls, man. Uh but yeah, okay, then they then reveal, he just kind of yeah, because here this is basically the labyrinth part, right? It's a very brief scene. There's no prison scene. There's no fight with Eddie again. He doesn't show up again. There's no row in the boat to the lake. No, he just kills Angela, or I mean Laura. I mean Maria, and then just fucking wakes up out front of the Lakeview Hotel, right? Like he just wakes up and it's on fire for some fucking reason. It's still burning, I guess. And then like he meets Laura again, and she does a bunch of creepy child stuff. And then it's like, oh, you gotta remember. They have the then they reveal that Laura, Angela, and Mary are all the same person, and the other two were in his head. There's the stupidest reveal ever that Mary's full name was actually Mary Laura Angela Crane, or I think it's Mary Angela Laura Crane. Whoa. Fucking why? For what purpose? All are one, which means Mary is now the sexual abuse victim, and is also Laura. I guess that change. I guess that really changes nothing. Yeah, it's a stupid scene where it's like it flashes to her gravestone, and it's like, oh my god, it's Mary Angela Laura Crane. Oh, well, whose fucking name is Mary Angela Laura Crane? What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? It's the stupidest goddamn thing. It's so stupid. Even if it weren't an adaptation of Silent Hill 2, that would be really stupid. What kind of a twist is that? It means nothing. It changes nothing. There's no hints at like any of these plot twists. You can't guess them like we already know it's supposed to be all in his head. So what is this for? It's just to have a twist. And like after that, he like falls through the floor and like and he like just ends up like with Angela, and she's getting like pulled into the bed, and then he falls through the bed too and ends up in the piston room, and then we have the fucking abstract daddy thing, and it's just so awful. It's so crass and awful, and it's just yeah, it's just Joshua Crane but monsterfied, fucking his underage daughter, who is Mary, who is like it's just her. The other part of the abstract daddy creature is just her now. Her head's sticking out of it upside down, and it's all like, and she's all like, "Oh, James, help me! He's raping me!" She doesn't say that, but it's just like that. And then like she just bursts into fucking flames, and that's the scene. That's it. Again, you wouldn't know what the fuck was going on. Why even include that part, dude? Why? Why even have that part? I don't understand why. You're not even gonna spend any time trying to like explore the theme. It's just that's it. That's it. That's all it is. And then he goes up to the fucking roof, and then sees Mary's hospital bed, and then it ascends into the sky, and then the piece de resistance. The piece de resistance, as I said. I did this on purpose. I didn't put any accents on it. I didn't spell anything right. It's the piece de resistance. The piss cherry on the shit sundae is that Mary asked James to kill her when she was terminally ill, and he just does it. He's implied to be more guilty about leaving her at that one point than actually euthanizing her, which, I mean, warranted in this case. I cannot believe they did this. I kept thinking, it's gonna be that he didn't even kill her in this, isn't it? Everything else about her story is different, and I was almost exactly right. Yeah, I kept thinking, like, oh man, so how bad is this? Are they gonna do that? I kept everyone, every so often, every act, I was like, oh man, are they gonna? It's totally gonna be. They're totally gonna reveal he didn't even kill her. It's totally gonna fight like somebody else did or something, or like she just died. It's totally gonna reveal that. It's totally gonna do it. Not as bad as that, but still pretty bad. Holy fucking shit! They really did it. They really sanitized James. They really took out the bad thing he did. At least softened it to the point of pointlessness. The guy in Shutter Island did worse. And even he had a total justification for doing that. Like I get it. You get it in that movie, right? If you haven't seen Shutter Island, too fucking bad, I guess. It's a good movie. You should watch it anyway. But yeah, the guy in that, he killed his wife because she went crazy and killed his kids. Right. It was both because of out of like you killed my kids, but also because it's like she's too far gone. I'm putting her down like a rabid dog, right? And he still felt really shitty about that, which is understandable. But yeah, it's totally justified. It's totally completely justified. I would say. I mean, not completely. You probably still shouldn't have done that. But also, like, I'm not gonna be all like, "Fuck that guy! How dare he?" No, I totally get it, dude. I completely get it. Understand? I get it. But yeah, like, because of this, there's really no point to Pyramid Head either. They make it explicit he's his dark, violent side, but what dark, violent side? No wonder Pyramid Head doesn't try to punish him. He doesn't need punishing. There's no bad side to him, aside the drunk side that gets in violent at bars, which happened after Mary died. Is that what he's upset about? Like he's like, I'm violent now. I gotta be punished, but he doesn't punish him. There's no point in Pyramid Head anymore. This movie somehow has 2.5 of the game's endings. I'm wrong about this. It's actually all of them. Because yeah, this somehow has it starts as the In Water ending, but then like he somehow goes back in time, I guess in his head, I'm assuming. But it becomes a mix of Maria and Rebirth. Actually, it's a mix of Maria, Rebirth, and Leave. Because James wakes up right before he met Mary, and he still meets her in the same way, but is acting like, oh, this time it'll be different. And takes her to the city she was going to instead of back to Silent Hill. So they leave. He leaves Silent Hill instead, and moves on with his life, I assume, better because Mary's alive now, but it's also on his head, I don't know. But it's also kind of like Maria because it's all happening again, right? Like it's restarting. It's the cycle is going to continue, but it's also going to be different, actually. It's also kind of like Rebirth because he magically gets Mary back. Although they don't show that in the Rebirth ending. But you know what I mean, right? Like it's kind of like they gave it all four endings, all four of the main endings. Right? Like, there's just no dog or UFO ending. They totally did. It's weird. And then it all the while it plays Theme of Laura Reprise, which is actually Angela's theme is supposed to play when she's ascending into the hell hallway, the hell stairs. But then it switches to regular Theme of Laura before the credits. And I'm assuming this is supposed to be in his head, not some out of nowhere magic. He went back in time shit. But that's not better because that's just more added to the implication that it was all in his head. Yeah, explain the hospital scene. I'm not sure. It would not be. It's just a bad movie. The acting is bad. The effects are bad. The pacing and structure is confusing. It's just stupid as fuck. It's honestly, I think it might be worse than No, Revelations is worse, but it's also kind of like just as bad, maybe. Like in a lot of ways, it's the same like bottom tier for sure. Honestly, yeah, extra negative points for trying to have an open interpretive ending about or anything about it. This isn't even everything is wrong. It's just the biggest stuff. Yeah, it's really, really, really bad. It's so bad, right? Like Mary didn't even get sick. She got sick because an evil villain poisoned her. You know, it wasn't a tragic twist of fate that was not, you know, that wasn't a that wasn't able to be controlled by anyone, that nobody could have stopped. You know, it was nobody's fault that that part happened, right? It's just no, yeah, she got poisoned by an evil baddie. And then James doesn't even like, because he wasn't even living with her anymore. He in fact comes he finds out that she got terminally ill and then returns, right? And he comes to the hospital where she is, and he's like trying to help her out, but then she's all like, you know what, how do I help? You know how you help, James. You know how you can help. Do it, James. Come on. And so he does it, and then yeah, she asked him to do it. It's not like I have to do this. I can't live like this. I want this over with. I can't do it anymore. I'm putting us both out of our misery. I'm ending this for both of us, whether you like it or not, Mary. I put your face into the pillow. There's none of that. There's none of that. There's no like, she came home to stay. After, because the hospital's like, there's nothing we can do for you, and then he like smothered her. Not just not no. He puts a fucking dirty rag he was using like wash her over her face, and that somehow does it. And it's so stupid. That's the big twist. Like, why? Who fucking what does it matter? Who cares? Nobody's gonna care. It changes. It really does change nothing, right? Like, you knew she got sick and died, but it's like, oh, that's. I guess maybe it's kind of like trying to be like, oh, that's sad. Like Christoph Gans understood that the movie that Silent Hill 2 was sad, right, and tragic, but he didn't get the part where like that's supposed to be a really dark and fucked up thing that he did. It's just like, maybe he was half paying attention. Was like, oh, and assumed. Maybe he assumes that she asked him to in the game, because he wasn't really paying attention, right? Like, I don't know. It's just, it's so stupid. The movie's so stupid. And it's like, yeah, not only did we entirely take the bite out of what he did, because like, yeah, he didn't really do anything wrong, I guess. I mean, like, I guess it depends on your views, but like, I'm kind of like, if the terminally ill patient is like, please just kill me. I don't want to do this anymore. Please just kill me. I don't think if you accept that request, I don't think you did anything wrong. That's my hot take, I guess. At least not. I mean, like, I get feeling bad about it. Yeah, of course you do. It's like killing in self-defense. You often feel really bad about it, but you didn't do anything wrong. Because that guy was going to try to kill you, and if you didn't kill him, he was going to kill you. Somebody was dying either way, right? So better him than you. It's better you live than the guy who was trying to kill you. Because fuck, he did worse than you did, obviously. But it makes sense to feel bad about that. Because you killed a human being. Yeah, I killed a human being. I killed a human being. Like James says, right? That was also in self-defense, and he still feels bad about it. But like, yeah, you feel bad because you killed another living human being, but also you didn't do anything wrong. So in that situation, I would say you didn't do anything wrong, right? Because they wanted you to. Maybe you can say like you should have said no, and like maybe there's some way to do this better, or like you should push through and live as much as you can, and even with whatever you're dealing with, right? But nah, I feel like, yeah, if you're like terminally ill and it's really horrible and painful and there's no way to recover, and you're just gonna be in horrible, horrible pain and agony and discomfort and not enjoy anything at all for the remainder of your days. You just do it, man. You just pull that plug, click, just slit that throat, just push that power button, press that power button, turn that thing off. I get, I say. So yeah, there's like James didn't do anything wrong. Like in fact, this James didn't do anything wrong at all. Like I will sometimes joke to myself, not really to other people, because I don't really want to discuss Silent Hill 2 with anyone for understandable reasons. I'm sure you understand why I would say that. But like sometimes I joke to myself like, James Sunderland did nothing wrong. And no, he did though. He definitely did. He really did. Really lots of bad. Did a really bad thing there. He made lots of bad choices. Did some bad things. But especially in the Maria ending. Woo. But yeah, it's this version of James really did do nothing wrong. Because what did he do wrong? He I mean, I guess it was pretty stupid of him to leave instead of again getting the cops involved, but also he didn't really do anything bad there, right? Like he got a little bit miffed at her, and mostly it was miffed at the cult, and then he left, and then he came back when she got terminally ill, which good, yeah, that's a good thing to do, right? Like if he had just been like, nah, whatever, I don't care, she's dying, I don't care. Like no, he immediately he's like, I gotta go see her in the hospital. She's dying. I gotta help her. You did a good guy thing, right? And then she asked him to kill him, put her out of her misery, and he did. And I mean, I guess he did get drunk at a bar and kind of fight people, but he didn't really do that intentionally. They didn't even do that right. Like he didn't get like angry drunk and punch somebody. No, he was just being a big nuisance, right? And like he accidentally hurt somebody when he was drunk, and was like, "What? I didn't know what I'm doing." And then they were like, "Fuck you, pal. You're getting out of here." And he's like, "What the fuck, man? Get off me!" Like he didn't really understand what he was doing because he was so drunk. So he didn't even really do anything bad there, right? Like he mostly bumbled into that. Like, the worst things James does in this movie is just bumble into things. And I guess the time that you woke him up, Jimmy, because that's what Eddie says. Ah, you woke him up, Jimmy. You did it, Jimmy, didn't ya? He's really awful. He calls him Jimmy. It's really bad. Terrible, terrible movie. Really terrible. Man, I can't even like the cinematography also sucks, right? There are a few good shots that remind me of the original movie, which looked good. That's a big part of the reason I don't dislike that movie, because it looks cool. I mean, a lot of the visuals are obviously lifted from Silent Hill, but I mean, it's got good like art direction. It's got good design work. It's good. It looks good. This movie looks like ass. I don't. It's again, the acting is really bad. It's a confusing mess. Like it's so stupid. Just as a movie, I wouldn't like this if I wasn't a Silent Hill if I was not a Silent Hill fan either. Um, I'm trying to think of more like really stupid shit that happens. Oh, they play like one of those Mary Elizabeth McGlynn vocals, or it might have been a Donna Burke vocal one. I don't remember which actually. I don't remember which song it was, but one of the Akira Yamaoka vocal tracks in the bar scene. James like stumbles over to Heaven's Night, which is like a social club slash bar, and not a strip joint anymore. Um and like yeah, they're playing that in a flash. He has a flashback to when he met the cult members of Joshua Crane's cult, and they're just like, yeah, it's just playing one of those songs, and that reminds me of the fact that like none of them, there's like barely any Silent Hill music in this fucking movie. It's like they say music by Akira Yamaoka. It's like, if you say so, I don't. What music by Akira Yamaoka, bro? I didn't hear any. compared to the original where they used it a lot. Didn't use those songs in the correct context most of the time, but it was still pretty nice. It's pretty good. They also use fucking. I think in the credits, I think they play the car ride song, the vocal track song in Silent Hill 3 from Silent Hill 3, which is stupid because that song is about Heather. You know, am I still friends with Carly? I don't. Who is Carly? I don't think Mary knew Carly. Heather knew Carly. Like what? Or Alessa knew Carly. You know, it's about Alessa and Heather. Alessa's not in this fucking movie. And if you're a fan of the original movie too, I don't think there's like no connection to it. It's all retcons. I don't think it's in continuity with it at all, despite being called Return to Silent Hill. Doesn't make any sense. Right? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm just the nostalgia critic. I don't get it. Why is it like Vegas? I don't get it. I can't do that. I can't do the thing. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, it's just... It's so terrible. The monster designs aren't even very good. Miles from Hikikomori Media, who I watch on YouTube, I watched his review of it. He said that the lying figures designs were pretty good. I don't really agree. I don't think any of the designs look good. It is nice that, yeah, like they were mocap by actual actors this time instead of just CG like the lying figure in the original movie was. They're a different design, of course, because, we already used that in the first Silent Hill movie. I'm surprised they had Pyramid Head in here at all, because, so does that mean that in the first movie, that Pyramid Head is also James? So is this movie like a prequel to the first Silent Hill movie? But no, because, it's not in continuity. The nurses are completely different, they're, made of porcelain. And I don't even think that they do the whole, responding to light stuff that they do in the original movie, which, again, was a cool, trying to carry over the fact that monsters could see you easily, could see you if your flashlight was on, and would be drawn toward it, but if you had kept it off, they wouldn't, unless you were, right up on their ass. But yeah, that's not even attempting to replicate the game like the first one did. It's just so terrible. I'm trying to think of more things. I'm drawing blanks here. It's just all terrible. The bum scene. Here's my return to Silent Hill theory here. All of James's hallucinations were because of that was a real bum that he really talked to in the real Silent Hill, which is actually normal in reality because it's all in his head. So he talks to the bum, and he starts talking about monsters and darkness and how they're coming, and that influences the hallucination that James has, right? You see what I mean? Seriously though, I think that's what they're going for, right? Is that the bum's weird, crazy, homeless dude rambling, influenced what James saw and thought was going on. Because before then, there were no monsters. That's what started the monsters showing up. So I think that was what it was. Yeah, plot-wise, it's just really, after the first, act or so, it just starts falling apart. And shit just starts happening. James gets chased by billion of those little cockroaches, from the game. There's just a billion of them. There's lots of that. Something's crazy happening. I gotta run away. When Pyramid Head first shows up, he just kind of comes and slams and shoots his arm, grabs his arm, tries to grab James through the bars, and it's rawr, rawr, rawr. And then he bashes his head into the bars and starts bending them with his pyramid head. And it's contrast with the original scene where it's just, oh, what's that fucking guy over there? What's he doing? Why is he just standing there? It's making my radio go off. He must be a monster, but what the fuck? What the fuck is that thing? What? Why is he over? What's he doing? What the fuck is he doing? There's no, like, there isn't, like, any bodies around that kind of look like James, like in the original game, in the remake. There's no Pete's Bolorama. There's no, there's not even that theater they go to in the remake. There's just nothing. There's just nothing, right? It doesn't look at all similar. When they go to the hospital, there's a bunch of billion hospital beds sitting out front. Because again, there's James has concocted a narrative about people getting sick in Silent Hill and stuff. So it's just a completely different. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I've talked about it already. It's like it completely defeats the purpose of all the themes. Because again, Mary wasn't killed against her will, and didn't just get sick. Because the whole idea, I'm sure you've heard of this with the copious amounts of Silent Hill 2 essays out there, video essays out there. But like, the whole point is that it's a tragic twist of fate, right? She just gets sick, and that ruins everything, you know? And then James gets, like, he just can't take it anymore, man. He just can't take it. Seeing her like this, the stress it's causing him, the way she treats him because she's so horribly irritable like this, having to come to the hospital all the time, and when he does, he's having his fucking flowers thrown back in his face, it's just all of this, going home and just, my wife's gone, and to him, she was probably dead already, and he just wanted it to end. It was the complicated feelings, like he didn't want to see her like that, and he didn't want to have to deal with this himself. He did want his life back, but also he wanted to put her out of her misery, but also it was selfish, but also it was selfless, but also he shouldn't have done it, but also maybe he should have. But no, he definitely shouldn't have. But also, I don't know, how is this going to end? There's no complicatedness to it. It's not complicated. They made it uncomplicated. And yet, the story still feels 10 times more convoluted and confusing because it's just nonsense now. So yeah, I mean, that's all there really is to say. It's just so much stupid shit. Right, like they discover like, oh yeah, right, the cult Mary and getting sick because there's some tapes from a doctor in the hospital, which I guess is attempting to emulate the game a little bit. We did find a clue, and at one point, like, he performs some like first aid on Maria, which is he was like using the first aid kit. I mean, think of some more dumb shit. I mean, it's considering how little they spend on the sexual assault stuff, it's no longer a theme of the story. Again, guilt and, like, self-punishment and, like, trauma and, like, moving on from the loss of loved ones and from the things you feel guilty about and, like, trying to make up for them and not, like, allowing your guilt for yourself to destroy you as well and, like, prevent you from doing anything. Because if you just wallow in your guilt, you're not going to be able to do anything about it anyway. So what's the point of that? The theme of just like, oh yeah, sometimes just tragic things happen in life and everything falls apart and bad shit happens. And you choose to do bad things because of, like, the stress and fatigue and mental... mental. You can get mentally ill. Like, it's a story about how anyone can become mentally ill, right? Or like, it all just happened to people. It wasn't like they were just naturally born like that. Eddie was tormented and just snapped. Angela was abused and snapped. James was under a just copious amount of horrible stress because of a real human thing that just happens to people and snapped. And that's where evil can come from sometimes. And even if you committed an act of evil, it doesn't make you evil. You can redeem yourself. You can move on from that. Basically, there's none of that because it was all the bad guy's fault, and then James didn't even do anything wrong. The sexual assault is fucked up, I guess. But there's no theme of like, sometimes sexual abuse victims just there's no hope for them, right? Like they gotta dig themselves out of it, and sometimes they're not willing to, or things just go wrong, and they get too far gone, and you can't really help them, and you shouldn't have to deal with them because they can become horrible, like abrasive people to protect themselves from getting hurt, and they know what's going on with them. They know, and they know that you're not going to be able to stick around and really help them, and that you should just let them be. And because of that attitude and because of that reality, it really will be tough to try and you can't fix them, you can't fix her, you know. There's nothing anybody can really do. You have to leave that to them, and they'll do it or they won't. You know, it's nothing anyone can really do, except maybe a really good therapist. I don't know. Angela probably needed a really good therapist, but like that's gone from the story too. You know, there's no theming of like not treating people terribly because of how they look or whatever. Because who knows, man? You could create a school shooter if you do that with Eddie. You know, there's no theme of like it was wrong of him to react that way, but also, he was really treated horribly and was just lashing out. There's not really any element of that either. So all the themes are gone. All there's a lot of Forrestian plot points, but they're not even correct. There's no Silent Hill 2 atmosphere or pacing or anything like that, or any of its like exploration mechanics, how the gameplay goes. It's none of that. There's not even any fighting of monsters. There's not any boss fights. There's nothing. They've replicated nothing. They've carried over nothing, other than there's a story about James and Mary, and he loved her, and then she got sick, and then he killed her, and now feels guilty about it and repressed the memory, and now wants to return to Silent Hill to recover the memory. And Pyramid Head is there, and he's his dark side, and Maria is there, and she is a creation of his mind. Those are the things that they brought over. So it's like maybe like 20% of the game. And like with Silent Hill 1, they fucked up a lot too. They did. Because, like Dahlia, she isn't evil. It isn't an uncaring parent who only cares about herself, right? And advancing her own agenda. Despite while the daughter still loves her and just wants to be with her mom, right? There's none of that. They don't have that. But also they still have the element of like, abuse of children and exploitation of children. And like a real parent comes to save the day. Even though she's adopted, the adopted parent loves the child so much more than the real parent. Like that's how Harry is, and that's how Cheryl? No. Rose de Silva. Cheryl is what she's called in the original game, the daughter. Called her Sharon in the movie, I don't know why. But like that aspect is there, So the major theme of the game is mostly there. Like, yeah, the religious extremism and the exploitation of children, and at least Christabella was still doing that for her own gain, for her own agenda. Let's say, and yeah, like blind religious fanaticism is there. And there's not too many themes of Silent Hill 1 in Silent Hill 1, right? They're not particularly complex themes. But I think that they're solid, powerful themes, right? Like, Harry is a simple character. He's very, very, very simple. They give him more depth in the third game. But like he's just like, yeah, I care about my daughter. Even I don't care that she's adopted. She's my daughter. So I'm gonna go and rescue her. Which is contrasted with Dahlia, who's a terrible parent. Who it is her child, but she doesn't give a shit about her at all, and only sees her as a tool. She's got to use her psychic power. She's got to use her psychic powers to summon her god. She doesn't care about her kid, whereas the adoptive father Harry It does. And at least, at the very least, Dahlia's still not a good parent in Silent Hill because she let her fucking religious cult do that to her daughter like a fucking idiot. And she, like, it's a little too late to feel bad about it, but she's still way better than Dahlia in the fucking game, and that sucks. But it's like at least there's some of that still there, right? I appreciate the first Silent Hill movie as an adaptation more now because of stuff like this, where it's just like I can see how much worse you could do it. You worse you could fuck up the themes of the story. The worse you could fuck up the actual like game part of the game. Again, they fit in a lot of that stuff. That's kind of like the game in the original movie. This has none. This has none of that. You don't. James does not find a single fucking key item. He finds the flashlight. That's about it. But anyway, yeah. So that's all I got to say about the movie. There's probably more to talk about, but like, this is already an hour and 5 minutes long. Oh, about to be an hour and 6. So I'm gonna cut it here. I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's really bad, really, really bad. If that makes you, if you're still like, I want to see it to believe it. I could really recommend going to see it. I don't think it's not in theaters anymore, but I would definitely, when you can see it digitally in whatever form you choose, I would say, yeah, do it, cause it's really bad. It's like, it's astonishing. It's astonishingly bad, right? It's not every day that you get an experience like that. So I would say, go get that experience, because it's crazy. It's crazy bad. It's a monumentally terrible movie, a monumentally terrible adaptation. It's just a horrible shit show, and that's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to watch. It's not like a boring bad movie or a particularly painful bad movie. It's the kind of movie you're just like, holy shit! Oh my god, really? Oh, that's so stupid! Holy shit, dude! Oh my god, it sucks! Holy crap! How is it this bad? Oh, dude! You might even laugh out loud at a lot of it. I know I did a couple of points. Yeah. Like, I think it's totally worth it that. But if that doesn't sound good to you, you're like, I don't want to do that. No. I don't want to watch a really bad movie. Unless it's, like, hilarious, like, like The Room or something. But fair. Fair. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing that. Not the movie. I did not enjoy the movie. I enjoyed the experience of watching the movie. The movie sucks ass. Big, massive balls. Sucks big-ass turds through a straw. It's, yeah, awful. Truly dreadful. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. Shocking. Worst. It was one of the worst video game adaptations. The fucking Uncharted movie was a better adaptation than this, and a better movie, honestly. It was a more entertaining, enjoyable movie, really, than this. And that's a big stinker. The Until Dawn movie was better than this, and that was also a big stinker. At least that was a somewhat enjoyable movie. Even if it was a bad Until Dawn movie. It was mostly stupid. I don't know, but it was better than this. There have been a ton of shit-ass fucking video game adaptation movies these days. Man, I don't... People were saying, oh, finally, video game adaptation movies are good. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just because, like, the Super Mario Brothers movie was, like, 50% of the way there? Really? Okay. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I recommend. It's a bad movie you should probably watch to see to believe. Because it's real bad. It is Revelations tier bad. And I didn't think they could do it. I was worse than I was expecting, and I didn't think they could do it. But they did it. They got the original director back, and it was still as bad as that piece of crap. You just can't make a Silent Hill movie, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, can't wait for that Silent Hill 4 movie. Oh, I really hope so, because I think that one's the worst, like the hardest to adapt, probably, given its like structure and how most of its story is told through notes. Can you imagine them trying to adapt Silent Hill 4? Oh, but I hope they do. And then I hope we get a Silent Hill like Origins and Homecoming and Downpour adaptation and somehow Shattered Memories. That would be crazy. Can you imagine that either? Like it's just the first movie again, but cold? That would be amazing. So yeah, okay. It's an hour and 10. That's it. This is what that was. This has been Electric Barrier rambling in your ear, and this is Electric Barrier signing off. Have a good one.